Hello everybody, this is Global Warming Skeptic. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of these videos. First of all, yeah, that's temporary logo because this is the format I gotta go with because I still can't get my screen to record properly, so it's gonna be this or it'll be documentation, but I'm gonna get back into the swing of things here. First thing though, and what really motivated me to hook my stuff up again is just, well, let me just tell you what happened. Syria allegedly, keyword, launched an attack against the rebels that were being annihilated. They lost Aleppo, they were pretty much just, they were defeated. And then all of a sudden you had this chemical attack against the rebels, and now you have a military response against them. Considering the classified information that's been released, however, on Vietnam, on the faulty intelligence of the Iraq War, I'm not buying it. And Trump, I don't know if this is Trump, some kind of freak ISIS attack, trying to antagonize the United States to attack Syria, perhaps so that they would blame the Syrians, or if it's a false flag. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a false flag because I still want more facts to come out because it's just there's not enough intel, and I feel like in all of these instances, intel is, of course, going to be naturally limited. But this is a time when we need it more than ever because we've had all these things exposed. It seems too obvious, but here's my response. Okay, let's just say the scenario. We're just going to assume that the U.S. military did nothing. Assad idiotically attacked his own civilians, provoking retaliation from the United States. And, there could be others to follow. But whatever happened to international cooperation on these wars? Here's how we did it during the Second World War. We got consensus that Germany and Italy were imperialist bastards, so we stomped a mud hole in them after being nearly taken out. And you form consensus, and when you form consensus, you get cooperation, you get shared intelligence, you get stuff where you don't have to be targeting the wrong people, hitting civilians. You know, and Trump has been disappointing in this regard, I gotta say. Yeah, he's only been in office for a couple months, and there's something to be said about that, but we have to stop this rogue state mentality where we are going it alone against Russians, against the Syrians, against ISIS, against the rebels, against everybody, and we are just our own separate little entity. Meanwhile, you got China, you got Russia, you got Syria. They're all sharing intelligence. So it's like, yeah, we have hundreds of thousands of bombs, but our intelligence is a joke. And it's demonstrated to be a joke because we were having very little impact until the Russians joined in, and they were instantly scattering ISIS like hell. That's when ISIS started to go on the defensive, is when the Russians, obviously with shared intelligence from somebody who knows the area, which is Assad, and you get better results from cooperation. Because that shared intelligence, that's huge. And it's, yeah, we got special ops there, but I mean, are they gonna gain the same level of intelligence talking to locals? Who are just as likely to lead them to the wrong area? Or perhaps not have complete information themselves? We gotta stop it, and Trump has to be better than this. And I'll just say this straight up. November the 7th, I walked 5 miles at 4 o'clock in the morning in 10-degree weather, fully clothed and everything, just to cast my vote for Trump. And I'd voted for Trump. I approved of Trump, and still I approve of Trump's overall job performance. I think Trump has done a very good job thus far. But I will say this, and if Trump ever gets a chance to hear this video, I want him to hear me loud and clear. If we get into another ground war that is not UN approved, or we are not having unilateral cooperation, that includes Russia, that includes China, then all that support, all that approval, gone. I will not approve of another war, another drug out, fruitless war, where our veterans have to come back injured again. Injured physically and mentally. I'm not going to support that. I don't care how many other things I agree. War is a deal breaker. No more. Unless we can get the Russians and the Chinese involved. Because honestly, and yes, they are a little bit obstructionist in the UN, I agree. They veto everything we do, we veto everything they do. You know, it's not a good arrangement. But here's how you solve this problem. If Assad indeed did launch these attacks, which would be illogical, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. If he did launch these attacks, best move, not to fire Tomahawk missiles at their airports to prevent them from doing further damage, whatever your justification is. Your best chance is to go to Russia and say, lay it down. Here's the evidence. They committed an attack. Are you going to condemn this? Are you going to sanction them? Are you going to put pressure on them that if this attitude continues, then you will withdraw your support, you will withdraw their guarantee for independence? That's how you do it. And if Russia will not do it, guess what? You've won yourself a diplomatic victory because they look like slimy pieces of crap. That's how you get things done. You put diplomatic pressure, because, let's be real, the Russians have been having a field day the past 8 years with that joke of a President Obama. He has been spanking Obama all over the place, and he's getting by with it. So, you know, you put them, by putting diplomatic pressure on them, you put them in a position where they either have to side with you or they have to take a loss. Either way, you win. And the people of Syria win, because they don't have to face yet another war with another country coming into their borders, wrecking things, torturing, bombing, killing civilians like the hundreds of thousands we killed in Iraq. That's, in China, pretty much the same thing. You know, China would probably have, you know, because China's going to be China. But if you could get Russia behind it and you get China lone wolfed, you're still winning a half diplomatic victory, and perhaps Russia joining in on those sanctions would put pressure on China, you know, because it's like China's been looking for that unity with Russia for a long time, and now they have it. And are they going to sacrifice that? No. But this is the kind of pressure you put on, is what I'm saying. Yes, it's a broken record, but here's the fact. I'll state this again. If we go into another ground war, then whatever consequence comes, impeachment or otherwise, I will not defend Trump, because I will not stand for another ground war where our men and women are going to be sent to die again and to kill others there. Because the death we caused there wasn't right either. Yeah, chemical weapons are bad, and if Assad did launch them, then he's a joke of a human being. But it's going to be worse if we go in there, we wreck the place, we try to nation build, we get another Iraq on our hands. Yeah, there you go. That'd be your legacy. I don't think you want that legacy, Trump. I don't think you want 8 years of a presidency to be known as you being a warmonger who caused the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people because of poor judgment you made within 2 months of being in office. So please make the right decision. Do not go to war without UN support. And if you get UN support, then kick the hell out of them, but not before the UN joins. No more rogue state. Thanks for listening, guys. God bless.